back with another one. Now I'm going to start this one off with a question. My question is, why do people jump all over someone whenever they're giving advice when it's something medical? Why do people do that? If it's something health related and somebody is giving some advice, it's always someone who wants to pose the dreaded question, are you a medical professional? Are you a health expert? Are you a medical expert? See, this is something that I wanted to talk about, is why attack individuals because they're trying to give you health advice, because they're giving you medical advice. Now, there's a host of areas where people talk about things when they don't know what they're talking about it, but they talk about it anyway. It might be opinionated, it might be experienced, it may even be factual, but they're not in that industry. So it doesn't always mean that you can't talk about something, advise somebody in something, just because you're not in that industry. Case in point, if someone had maybe a contract and they were thinking about signing it, and you suggested to them that they read it very carefully. See, do you have to be a lawyer to suggest that they read it very carefully? No. You're just giving the person some advice. So when it comes to, but back to what I was talking about, when it comes to things such as health, medical, I was looking at some numbers. Get this, on the average, it's 24 days to schedule a first-time appointment with a physician. 24 days. If it's already your doctor's office, it might be an average wait of 18 days. So this is just the national average, is 18 days. So 24 for the first-time appointment, 18 days if he's already your doctor. So now let's just say you're having whatever, your stomach hurts, your joints hurt, you got pain in your foot, or a number of different things. So should you wait 24 days and do nothing? Should you really wait 24 days and just do nothing? So is a person in the wrong if they were to say, hey, you know what? Maybe you can start adding a little bit of turmeric to your food. See, this could potentially help to relieve joint pain, cut down on inflammation, things like this. And of course, it's not the turmeric itself, it's the curcumin inside which is a byproduct of turmeric, which actually is what is of the benefit. And then, of course, if you pair turmeric or the curcumin in turmeric with black pepper, it helps your absorption rate. See, or it helps you to digest it so your body's able to utilize it. Now, that's just a little small tidbit. Now, do I need to go to a university for years to tell somebody that? To advise them of that? No, it doesn't take that. It doesn't take going to university for many years in order to give somebody some advice. Doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. Now, should we tell people like, well, the doctor said for you to take this combination of medicine with one after the other and only take it between a certain time frame of the day? Well, if that's what the doctor said, then that's what it is. Of course, you wouldn't override that or suggest that a person overrides that. But if it's something where someone has questions or you're just simply giving them advice, you don't have to necessarily be a medical professional to help someone. So stop this idea and this narrative. Many people want to ask that, oh, are you a medical professional? See, it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're talking about. Now, how many people are always trying to tell someone about a relationship or what somebody should have done with their children who don't know what they're talking about? See, why are you able to advise people? See, why are you able to tell them, another person, what they should be doing? So it doesn't mean, maybe you know what you're talking about, but then maybe you don't know what you're talking about. So this whole narrative and idea of attacking someone just because they're not a medical professional, but they're giving advice is not, it's not correct. And it's not necessary. Now, some people are into maybe herbal supplements, things like this, which can be very beneficial. Utilizing oils can be very beneficial. Does that mean that you've turned your back on doctors? No, that's not what it means. But it does mean that in between doctor visits, or like they say, in the meantime, you still have to maintenance yourself. You still have to maintenance yourself. You have to look into how you can best benefit your own health. Now, does anyone, and you're welcome to respond to this, but does anyone feel like they're really cared for by their primary care doctor? Do you really get that feeling that he just has your best interests at hand? Or do you feel like he's just cycling people through there, not really even listening to what you're saying? So you can sit back, relax, accept that, and do nothing, and just be at his mercy if you so choose. Or, again, in between those visits, those appointments, you can be reading, you can be doing research, you could be learning, you could be gathering information of how you can best help yourself. See, how you can best help yourself, how you can best help your household, how you can best help your family. Because, again, a lot of times you won't get no help until you can produce an insurance card. So what if, in light of the difficult times that people are enduring right now, what if you don't have medical coverage? See, would it be a bad idea to see what supplements you can utilize, what oils you can utilize, what herbs that you can utilize that can help your health? See, what exercises you can do to help your fitness, to help your health. So you don't have to be a registered dietitian or a certified nutritionist to know what foods are nutritious. I repeat, you don't have to be a registered dietitian or a certified nutritionist to know what foods are nutritious. So you don't have to be to know those things or to advise people on things. Now, if somebody were to, case in point, let's say a person started for breakfast, they had a Big Mac and a Pepsi. Right. Then for lunch, you had maybe a bucket of French fries and another Pepsi. And then you had a couple of Snickers after that. If someone were to say, hey, you shouldn't be eating that type of food, could you really respond to them like, well, you're not a health expert? See, are they right or are they wrong? Should you be consuming all that sugar, all those refined carbs, all those refined sugars? Is it good for you? See, is it good for you to consume those things? So don't lash out at the person because they gave you some advice and start telling them or asking them or trying to figure out what type of resume they have in order to tell you something that you need to hear or in order to give advice. Now, let's not take it for granted, but in the medical field, I believe it's called a medical practice, right? So they get to practice with your life. They get to practice with your health. And see, we accept that. So we accept people practicing on us. But now it's interesting how we won't tolerate people practicing, maybe if we're getting a haircut or if we're getting our hair styled. See, we don't want nobody to practice on us then. It better be perfect. It better be right on the money. But when it comes to our health, okay, go ahead and practice on me. I'll be your guinea pig. What do you think? Try something new on me. When it comes to our finances, maybe if we work and we get a paycheck, see, they don't get to practice with what they give us. They have to be right on the money down to the penny. But then when somebody gives us advice on something that's medical from the medical field, see, we accept whatever they say without doing our homework, without doing our research, without making sure that what they're telling us even makes sense. So to sum this all up, again, a lot of information is out there. Thank goodness to the internet. There's classes, things like that. We can do a lot of reading. We can do a lot of research. Do your own homework. Yes, you can be very knowledgeable about health-related things, about foods, about non-medical health practices that are beneficial for you, about what things to eat, what things to supplement with, what oils to add or to utilize as supplements which are going to help you. Because when it comes to our own health, we can do something or we can simply sit back and do nothing. So we can do something or we can sit back and just do nothing. Now imagine if you, let's say if we're January 1st, 2021, January 1st, you went to the doctor and then he says, all right, I'll see you in May. See, so that's January, February, March, April, May. A lot can happen in those months. So is it a bad idea to take advice from individuals during that time frame? Now, we're not talking about somebody saying, hey, if you, I know somebody that went down and then he found this little pill. He drove 100 miles and got this pill, and it's promised to, if you take it at 10 p.m. at night, when you wake up in the morning, you'll be 10 times smarter and you'll be about a foot taller. Well, see, of course, we're not going to believe anything like that. We're not going to go along, or you shouldn't go along with something like that. But when it's someone saying that, hey, this is a home remedy in which my grandma told me a long time ago, and it's nothing that's strange, nothing that's totally out of the ordinary, but it's helpful, is it worth at least looking into? Is it worth at least considering it? So again, to sum this all up, stop attacking people, telling them that they have to be an expert in order to advise you. They have to be a health or medical professional in order to tell you that you shouldn't be eating sugars all day, or that you shouldn't be drinking alcohol all day, or you shouldn't be eating from McDonald's all day. See, a person doesn't have to be a medical professional to tell you these things. All right, you guys, be good. Hope everyone's doing well. Signing off.